I'm not playing music. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Apparently, can someone go check my tube? And I think I messed something up, and Ari needs me to fix it. Can you just see what the title of it is? Just let me know. Because I can't. Thank you, Justin. Okay. Hi, welcome in. If I can just get you all to, do those things. Okay, so I'm not wrong. I don't know what she's. Okay. Hold on, let me switch on this then. Hi, hi, hi. Okay, so basically, no, no, dismiss. Okay. Now me being sideways. Okay. I thought that's what I did, and then, yeah. What? Oh, yeah. I don't know how to deal with that on TikTok. Ugh. Hi, Justin. I love Justin. No. Okay. We're good. That needs to start over again. I need some more, like, yeah, tacos. Hell yeah, brother. Let's do this. I needed to go and grab, I needed my iPad, but I don't know what I did with it because, well, neuro spicy. Oh, let me put in some work and actually share this out and not make it all on a you thing. Jesus. Okay, am I still really quiet or like am I quiet on here and the tube or just over here? Okay, just let me know. I appreciate you. I genuinely appreciate all of you. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, hi. Hello. A redirect. Hello, friends. Parkers. Yes, you are. I need to get Justin while he's in, or while they're in there. Let's see. I set this up the other day. I just wanted, and I basically went off of Ari's. It seems today that all we see is violence in movies and okay. Where are those good old fashioned values? Oh crap. I just realized. Hello? Is that better? Hi. All right, yep, let's do 4K before we start our friendly time. Hey John, I do not know who you are. You're more than welcome to call the phone number. Is it better over on the tubes? I forget the delay is wildly like. He, they, in equal measure. I got you, Justin. My goodness. I just turned up like every fucking setting imaginable, so we shall see, y'all. Maybe, possibly. Hey, so until I get I don't know where I put my iPad. I don't see it in microphone's reach. So don't send me shit on Discord because I'm not opening it up on here. Thank you, Eli. I did not want to. That was something I didn't want to do. Is like because it could be. It's still quiet for you, Parkers. Does this double the sound, or does it make it better on tubes? But yeah, I didn't want to be insensitive to the houseless population. So that is that is why I wanted to find a different. Yay! Hi, Dad. Did you bring the milk? Doubled sound. That's what I thought it would do. So we're gonna go ahead and pick that up a little bit, and let me know if that makes it a little bit better over there on tubes. Um, Ooh, so you didn't pay attention to me. I only drink oat milk. Welcome in, Raiders, as you trickle in. Thank you so much. I am so, y'all. We're gonna figure out tubes one day. Um, sweet, sweet, sweet. I just found out that DC is a state, and apparently it should like because it has to be, or it's also a part of Maryland and Virginia. I actually don't know what his claim was, but I just know that he just could not get through the concept of DC not being a state or being within a state. That was fun. That was fun, fun, fun. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I'm guessing Ari could not redirect to me because she couldn't find the live. Yay, Mia! Yes, I am here. I don't know. Fancy milk. Okay, so we have made it past 4K. Of course, like I said, or for those who haven't been in here yet, I like to do round table on the panel. If I am not, if we're not mutuals, I don't let you up on the panel. If you have questions or want to add, um, yay, the redirect is successful. Basically, you're more than welcome on the panel if we are mutuals. I ask that you call in if you want to add anything, or if you have something to say, if you want to um, just like basically talk about why voting sucks. If you feel disenfranchised, if you feel disconnected, I completely understand. If you feel unheard, so do I. Hi, welcome in. Ooh, let me look at that. Okay. All right. And let me make sure that the phone is actually on because that's the type of thing I would do is forget to turn that on and be like, why is nobody calling? All right. Everything's good. January 8th, Ray. Don't, everybody, just make sure you don't forget January 8th. If you're over on the tubes, I just need a thumbs up. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you're hate watching, also a thumbs up would be great. Subscribe to, be a hate watching fan. I love those. I truly do. I appreciate those. Yes, thank you, January 8th Raiders over here. Appreciate that. DC is a state, but also not a state that's within a not state. We haven't figured that out yet. He's still looking at a paper map. Eek. Okay, make sure we are, again, mutuals are allowed on the panel. Anybody else is more than welcome to call. Talk about why you're feeling disenfranchised because I have a feeling that it's more people than not. So So I just want to make sure we have that conversation. Other than that, where's my blue bee? Never forget John Brown or January 8th. There's a lot of things to not forget. Um, hello, hello. He did keep saying January 8th. Ah, I need to fix that.
Ah,
I was about to say something and then I realized that was going to be weird out of context for the tubes. What am I doing? Oh, that's the wrong one. All right. Welcome, Blue.
hello.
Say hi to the tubes.
Hi, tubes.
And
I am not yelling.
so we're gonna continue. Mia sounds so low. Okay. I still sound now I sound low over here. Make up y'all's minds. All right. And you're more than welcome to let whoever is in there up. That's great. Oh, it's Cuck. Let me check my settings one more time. Blue is coming in loud and clear. Specifically gonna.
Like you sound better when I joined, but you're like super quiet and my phone's all the way up, so then blue is really loud. So I think it's just your mic gain or something.
Is that better?
A little better up here.
Wow, loud. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. So I guess that was better. Justin said they got a jump scare over there.
I think they might have been talking about Ray when he came up.
Oh, just kidding.
I mean, I do scare people.
You do. You terrify everybody. We never know what you're going to say. All right, so we are going to get started on. We are going to get started on going back to getting money out of politics. We had a call yesterday, so we didn't actually get to cover that. Also, Tubes, if you just have a question that you want us to talk about, you are more than welcome to also text this number. However, if I get any like nasty pics, I will be reporting to the CIA. I mean, I feel like that might be the only effective fucking government agency currently, but
Yeah, it looks like you still need to.
Okay, so
turn
they're
yourself
saying
up.
that you're still quiet.
I know I'm getting it.
Right, like don't be afraid to blast their ears off.
But if I do that, I'm afraid I'm gonna also increase y'all's volume. Is that working better?
Slightly.
How about that? All right, friends. Night night. Night night. Thanks for coming over. Oh, then I have no idea what's going on here. Maybe that? No? Maybe? Hello? No? Hello?
That was a little better.
Yeah, turn that all the way.
Yeah, whatever that was.
Okay, that's.
Oh, much better.
We're good? All right. Figured it out. Is there an echo? There's no echo. We're good?
No echo.
Have y'all turned up y'all's volume? Is the question.
On the phones?
Yeah,
mine was
Rickon's
all the
got
way
his
up.
hearing aid in.
Can the guests be turned down a smudge? See? I'm going to have to isolate my stuff then.
I'll turn my mic down. Is that better, y'all?
Hi, everyone.
We can always just whisper.
Okay, so money and politics. Blue, you had oh, if you want to find me on other socials, on Tube, you can look in the description. I do have my link tree.
I'm gonna drop real quick to check your audio.
Hello, mama, let me whisper.
Shut the hello. Ooh. Did that get super
Yeah, you
loud?
peaked. Yeah, you peaked right there.
I know, I saw that. All right, maybe I needed to alternate it. Okay, I'm working on it. I don't know why this is becoming an issue today. Okay. Is that better? Are we evened out now? Okay. Okay, I had to switch two things. Can you still hear Blue?
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Okay. So they said over on the tubes that you're much better, like even. Okay, so we're good. I had to alternate some things so things wouldn't be doubled. Yes.
Yeah, I'd
we
say
definitely
it's
did
it's
whisper,
better.
whisper song.
It's better to be too loud, like for everything to be too loud, because then people can turn it down. But there's only so far people can turn it up.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so are you ready, Blue?
Sure.
All right. So as we know, we feel like our voices don't matter. And it's harder to feel like our voices do matter when we have corporations that have so much more money than we do. Um,
Yes.
so as of what was it 2010 when Citizens United
Hmm.
went ahead or were able to who
When it happened.
gaslit? Okay.
What?
When the Supreme Court went ahead and ruled in favor of Citizens United, where they were able to basically put in as much money as they wanted. Super PACs.
Hmm.
And they didn't, then they have, and they also have deadlines where you only have to report your donations up to a certain point in deadlines. And then after
Hmm.
that, you don't have to report it until after the election.
Yep.
All right. So what's that compared to, or what other systems compare to the money in politics?
No other system in the world compares to the way that the United States funds funds its elections. Um, like if you look at places like Canada, the UK, France, Germany, all of them have really strict spending limits, uh, whereas the US has none. Zero. There's no limit on how much you can spend on your campaign. Uh, as far as like corporate donations, it's unlimited through super PACs in the United States. Uh, when you look at Canada, strictly banned. Like straight up, corporations cannot donate to campaigns. In the UK, it's permitted, but there's a cap. France completely banned. Germany permitted with very high transparency, so you have to know who's actually donating. In Australia, it's capped at 20,000 a year. 20,000. When you look at the amount of money that was spent on, let's say, the 2020 campaigns during that election cycle in the United States, 14. Let me hold on. Let me make sure I get the number right. Let me
Yes,
get my
Spark said
graph.
bribing is considered a problem in other countries. Um,
Right. Who would
wild
have thunk?
concept. And then over here, I have donation limits in Canada is less than 2,000, period. And let's not
Hmm.
forget, election cycles are super short in their countries,
Yes.
not year long. Okay, but we did talk about this earlier, or yes, last night, how it's not normal for campaigning to happen the way DJT has campaigned for the past 10 plus years. It's not normal.
Yeah, but even barring like the anomaly that is Trump, uh, the election cycle in the United States is significantly longer than most other countries. Uh, like a lot of like we normally see right after the midterms, people that's when people will start like throwing their hat into the ring and start campaigning and whatnot. So that gives them about 2 years. Uh, Really, there's no limit on how long they could start now if they wanted to. But in other countries, there is actually a like strict limit that they can only campaign for some in some places for a year. For some places, it's like a few months.
Yeah, damn, that just got super loud. But yeah, that's something that I have. That's something that is unfortunate because it's just like we talk about being a like number one country on different fronts and all that stuff. However, we don't have control. It's we are controlled by capitalism, with the illusion of things, being in our power. It's like no matter
Hmm.
how many people do get the chance to get their voice out and know what they want, it is harder for us to get somewhere on the same level, because we have so much money in politics.
Hmm. And that actually comes even going further back than 2010. When you go back to 1976 Supreme Court's the Buckley versus Vallejo, uh, that is when the Supreme Court ruled that uh, money basically, or political spending equaled political speech. What's wrong?
My mixer went down. That's why they can't hear. All right, my mixer is back up. My mixer went down. That's why you couldn't hear. Is that better over on tubes? I'm sorry. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. So, in case they missed it on the tubes, this framework actually goes back but beyond before Citizens United to 1976 Supreme Court Buckley versus Vallejo, where the Supreme Court ruled that political spending equaled political speech, saying that restricting campaign expenditures unconstitutionally limits the quantity of political expression. So that's when they started saying, "Oh yeah, you can spend money, you can like spend money on campaigns almost as much as you want." And it was Citizens United that basically equated companies to people, companies, corporations, labor unions, associations, saying that they're basically people who are able to spend money on campaigns. And yeah, it's ever since then that has been this whole political system has just been bogged down in money.
So basically, what you're saying is passing legislation such as like the Save America Act would actually suppress voter voices even more on top of putting money into campaigns rather than doing the opposite and taking money out of politics and making sure that people have excessive or more access to their voter registrations and their polls. Like if we actually put the money in politics or that are in politics, if we actually put that towards voting initiatives such as transportation for election days, you would actually be able to know what the people want more than what the corporations want. So, I mean, that's something I would definitely want to. Oh, that's something I would definitely want to see with politicians that are coming in, especially grassroots campaigns. That would encourage me to fucking be more excited to vote and to door knock and to phone bank. Like that would encourage me. It was like just being able to have someone who has experienced day to day life. Because let's be real, do we want politicians that have never had to grocery shop for themselves off camera, or have never needed to like, or have never had to want for something? Like they could literally just think it and it would appear because they had that much money. They don't know what a struggle is.
Yep. And the Supreme Court of Canada actually in 2004 had a case called Harper versus Canada, where they basically said the opposite of the United States. Uh, they rejected the American libertarian model that we have for elections, and said that that spending limits are constitutional and necessary, because they said that the right to free expression does not include the right of the affluent to drown out the voices of others.
I'm processing. Those were big words for Elmo. Okay. So, yeah. So over here on the tubes, we have Chris. And it says, as an outsider, it appears that change in 2010 was less impactful than the implication sound due to massive funding lobbyists, which are outside of the campaign structure. That kind of funding doesn't even seem to be tracked. Um, I don't know if it was a disconnect in my head or if things have actually changed since I took civics. um, but I had always been taught or told that lobbying was like, was to help impact and change, and lobbying wasn't a bad thing. And then now I found out that it's just the corporations throwing money at things, and that's what they call lobbying. But I was always, or I guess because it was pre 2010, lobbying was like going to the rotunda in Congress or in the state capitol and talking and trying to get the attention of the politicians, like, hey, this is what I want to push for, this is what we need to push for, and this is how we can make a better impact on this particular population or a majority of the population. So I real I really like, I don't know if that was just something that I misremember or if that's because of the change of like super PACs and things like that, or the funding and how funds could be sent to campaigns.
Yeah, it definitely is there has been a shift. Even before super PACs, lobbying could like in the United States, lobbying could get into like financial, basically legalized bribery. But with the introduction after Citizens United and the introduction of super PACs, that's basically just what it is in the United States. It's just legalized bribery.
Yeah.
In other countries, because they have those limits, they have spending limits and they have the limits on how much people can contribute. Uh, they don't have that financial leverage anymore. The lobbyists don't. What they provide is information generally. So they'll provide information on like what the constituents want in particular sectors, or like what the sectors have to offer, what would benefit more, things of that nature. Whereas here it's just they spend money hoping that they'll get a favor.
And so like, yes, so that's where the money comes in, where it's like a two problem front. It's like we don't, or we're not able to actually get the things that we need. It's the corporations getting what they need. But also, I mean, I guess it's not a two problem front, but it's like, but we also can't get the candidates. So like, it's the initiatives and the candidates that can't be pushed through because of the lack of funds, because you're competing with large donors, and so that's where we do struggle. And that's another reason why like we can feel disenfranchised and very much unheard. I had posed a question the other night of like, because everybody's just like, so what's the Democratic Party's messaging? And as of right now, trust me, I'm not a Democrat. However, if I'm looking at humanity and I'm looking at me wanting to benefit humanity, my biggest thing is making sure that I vote for harm reduction, but also at what points is it going to benefit rather than harm humanity, especially in like when it comes to this nation. Because if like we are stronger and hi honey mama, like if we are stronger and we are healthy, then we are able to protect and fight for the things that we can, or and hold people accountable in the ways that would help with other nations as well, right? So so it was one of those things that if we, I know that sounds very selfish when I'm like, oh, if we actually look at what America First could actually mean, that would mean healthcare, food, shelter, having a strong population, That way, if we have a strong population, then we can be strong for those less fortunate. So
That's the opposite of selfish, Mia.
what I'm saying is selfish on America, like, because I know a lot of people are like, well, what about this nation and what about this nation? And I'm like, I completely understand that. I completely 100% understand that. But when we like talk about mental health, for instance, if you are bottom of the barrel, like dealing with substance use disorder and very severe depression and stuff like that, who are you going to help? So if we can't heal as a country and we can't get out of like the whole like white supremacist thing and stuff like that, who are we going to help?
Yeah.
So if we have
That's
corporations and we have countries sitting there and dictating where this goes and getting these breaks, how the fuck are we supposed to get healthy when the country or when the other countries or the corporations are benefit but the citizens aren't?
Yeah. And Manny, it's about money and politics. And the
Wait, Via, are you describing Canada?
basically.
Well, apparently I am. Apparently Canada is my utopia.
And the thing is that we have the means to walk and chew gum. We have the means in this country to do all of those things that you just named and also support other countries.
Yeah.
Like this country, this is I say it all the time, this is the richest nation in the history of riches and nations. There is no reason that for one, there's no reason that people should be living in poverty in this country.
At all. If there are
There's absolutely no reason.
there should not be billionaires if there are homeless and or hungry people.
Exactly. And with the amount of money that these billionaires and soon almost and about to be a trillionaire make in this country, if they were taxed properly, there would be no hunger. There would be nobody who is unable to get health care. Like all of education could be funded. Kids could get lunch at school for free. Like all of that could be covered and we would still be able to take care of other countries.
Hey, also, I need shares put out, please, and thank you. Just remember, you can repost and you can also put it in your story. That'd be greatly appreciated. And Manny, welcome up.
Hey,
He-
the he, so the PAC stuff, the money in politics and all that stuff, super complex, super hard. I don't even fully comprehend it all. I think when I'm looking into this, like when I just literally just glaze over at some of these conversations when it comes to money and politics. Where and I'm assuming the majority of people get kind of caught up in is like within a few realms of money and politics. It's candidate money, so where are they getting their money from, right? A very basic level of understanding of like PAC money and not really too much understanding of the difference between PAC money and super PAC money. And then there's party money. And then we just hear about this very ominous, mysterious thing that's called dark money. But like there's so many different channels of which like they can get money from that is not even covered in the American political system. It's just so, I mean, when I look at stuff like this on a whim, for whatever reason, I usually go to Open Secrets for this stuff.
I love
But
open secrets.
there's so much information on there. It gets overwhelming.
I love, but also hate open secrets because it's just like that does feel like something that's discouraging. However, if we cannot identify the issues as to what's silencing us or I shouldn't say silencing, suppressing us and suppressing our progression, then we're fighting ghosts. Like, we don't know what we're fighting. We just know that something's wrong. But like, so I love and hate open secrets. So I really would like, I like this conversation as well as like all the other corruption that's going on as to why people would feel disenfranchised and why people would feel disillusioned, and why there are political nomads that they don't want to be considered a Democrat or Republican. I'm not, but I do know that in a two-party system, that like where it is important for me to vote until we can break that down. So that's something that we got to work in the system and dismantle the system that we are within, if that is what we want to do. But we have to work to do so.
So this right here is a chart that I generated.
Kids can't see it.
Oh no. But it's basically, it's just talking about the in recent election cycles, how much spending there was. Mm-hmm. In 2020, the United States spent on national election cycle during the national election cycle spent $14.4 billion. France in 2022, if I can, it's so small that it's hard to even highlight it. 90 million. In the UK, 40 million in 2019. In Canada, 70 million in 2021. $14.4 billion versus a few tens of millions. It's insane. Because when you look at like the France has a strict egalitarian system. Corporate and union money completely banned. They cannot donate to campaigns or parties. TV and radio ads completely banned. They are required to have free equal airtime on public radio or public television.
Fairness doctrine, bring it back. Bring it back. I will forever say Reagan. Pisses me off. I'm pretty sure it was Reagan. It was either Reagan or Nixon. Either one. Can't stand them either. But I'm just saying, bring back the fairness doctrine. It's my favorite thing that has ever existed.
Yep. Where are you seeing that, by the way, Blue? Where is that, the 14 bill?
This was aggregated.
Davo finally followed me. Sorry, that was important.
No,
I gave him shit earlier.
Website?
Hold on, let me see if I can. See where I can pull. Where I pulled it from.
The ongoing. And that's another thing. While Blue pulls that up. Like, why not? Like, I don't feel as if the campaign funds should be, especially when it comes to, I'm sorry. Okay, so especially when it comes to federal elections, I would say state elections, fine, whatever. But when it comes to federal elections, I feel like campaign funds, anything left over needs to be recycled into the American government. Like, the fact that they just continue continuously cycle and then build on. So then someone new coming in feels like they don't have a fighting chance. Like that's also very frustrating. But I just feel as if state funds, like things that are donated to local, state, like whatever level of election it is, it needs to be rolled, or it needs to go into basically the economy of that level of government.
I mean, I don't think that. Honestly,
I think everybody should start at zero.
The whole lobbying thing, I don't know. I don't have enough opinion on it to formulate, or I don't have enough knowledge on it to formulate an opinion. Because sometimes I feel like there shouldn't be any lobbying, like the bare basics, right? Like everyone else. And then I'm like, well, it costs money to get on TV. And I'm like, oh, it should be free for all politicians. And I'm like, well, that's going to backfire really quickly. And even is going as far as saying, like what you said, right? Like, oh, some people are going to run a candidate just to gain money so they can then hoard it for a better candidate in the next 4 years, right? This, the mentality of like, this isn't our time. We're going to drain our donors and, retain some money this time and then hoard it for next time. Or should they be forced to, every single dollar that they get, right, they have to spend it on that election? Like there's just, I don't know.
I think that there should be a cap. I think super PACs need to go. There should be a cap, because if that's the case, then they're just going to start spending on stupid shit. Like dinners,
I think there is some type of cap. And again, that's where it's like, going through all the different types of ways that they can.
There's a cap on individuals, donations, but when it comes to super PACs, there's no limit.
Yeah.
Oh, it is unlimited?
Yeah. No, super PACs can donate as much as they want. The 14.4 billion also, that was an aggregate from Open Secrets. Okay. And that wasn't just for the presidential, that was like across like all of the elections.
Okay. I was curious because I see that they did one. I was like, oh, maybe there's a cost for 2024. I saw that there is one for 2024, and it's around almost close to 15 billion.
Yep.
I feel like if you don't, I feel like if a corporation donates, they can't lobby, if that makes sense. So I feel as if it should be But
the donation it's all lobbying.
No.
Like it is.
This is okay. Going back to
Take
my
me off the big screen.
Oh, hey. I was looking at my bottom bestie. Okay. All right. So in my brain, I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. In my brain, lobbying is what lobbying used to be, is where you go and you legitimately go to the Capitol and you're like, this is what this needs. Like you try to get the attention of the politicians walking through the rotunda, stuff like that, right? In my brain, I'm so sorry. I used lobbying wrong. Because that is how it was taught to me. And that was before the whole, okay. I used it wrong. And I realized that because that's what's been ingrained in my neurospicy head. So when I say lobbying, I mean legitimately being so having the donation, if you're going to donate, then you gotta, that's your donation. You can't sit there and ask for shit. But obviously there should be a cap. Right. If you want,
what you had in your head of lobbying was what lobbying was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So old school lobbying. So I think if you want something done, then you actually have to send people to the Capitol. But you can't have record of donations.
Yeah, it was initially, that's what it was actually going there, speaking to the politicians in Washington, in trying to persuade them one way or the other to your cause.
But you have to also like understand the times in which why that was the way it was versus today, right? Like you didn't have that many quote unquote lobbyists, and the money that they made bought them the seat at the table to go in and lobby those people. Like there was a reason why it was that way versus what we see now is just an influx of cash coming from the wealth, because I don't think it's necessarily they can't be bothered to go there. It's these are multi-billion-dollar corporations that are running, hundreds of thousands of businesses, and they're not just lobbying the United States government, they're lobbying world governments to levy tariffs over here, tariffs not over there, removing restrictions over here, getting restrictions lifted over there. It's not so much as just, and for those that are kind of like lost in what I mean by corporations lifting restrictions on their product in other countries, it's them lobbying other countries or them lobbying the United States to get their product lifted so they can go and run their product over there, right? Or get a better tax over there, right? Or be able to get laws in place that will benefit them better so they can go and make their money, because it's all about making more money.
I got another chart for what Manny is talking about, but we mentioned before that in 1976 the Supreme Court ruled that that political spending was political speech, was a protected free speech, and so there was some money in politics, but it wasn't to the degree that we started to see at this rise right here, where Citizens United passed when they ruled in favor of Citizens United. You see from here to here, or from where it's at the bottom, where it's at the very low point on the graph, from 1990 to 2006, you can see like there's hardly any, like it's around the 90 million point in 2000, or 59 million point in 2006. That is around where Canada and France's spending is right now. But once Citizens United passed, you see that it just catapulted, because at that point the Supreme Court just determined that groups, that corporations, associations, that their spending counted as political spending, which then meant protected speech, and that's where you started getting super PACs and dark money.
Oh yeah. So quick housekeeping thing. I need I should be beyond, or I should be past 50K. I know y'all can do it. I know y'all have had a break in between lives. And I also know your capabilities of those fingers. If you have not sent a heart me, please go ahead and do that. If you have not followed me yet, please go ahead and do that. And welcome, Davo.
What up? I just wanted to pop up real quick because like this is a topic that I really like talking about a lot, but I did want to ask specifically, when was the last time that you watched Thank You for Smoking? And that
It's
kind of
been
goes to
a
everybody on the
long
panel too.
time.
Yeah, it's been
So
quite a while.
rewatch that, and then something interesting to note in the credits and everything else like that is that Elon Musk, David Sachs, and Peter Thiel all three helped executively produce that movie. Um, and kind of looking over just the history of the tobacco lobby and everything else like that, it it's surprising how much it matches up and everything else like that. But the reason I bring it up is because like it kind of shows essentially kind of what lobbying has become. like it's always been a schleuse and booze like type of deal, like where you're just making under the table deals with cash and everything else like that in order to kind of like push the narrative or something along those lines. Um, but like now, because even at the end of the movie, it's like, now we're seeing healthcare, insurance, oil, and lumber get into lobbying hardcore. And they're just like, those guys are really going to take over. And then sure enough, like the biggest lobbies are like the pharmaceutical companies and a lot of those. So I always tell people, if you're going to talk about like, lobbying and everything else like that, definitely go rewatch that movie.
The last thing hey, I accept mutuals up here. However, if you have any questions or something to add, you're more than welcome to give a call. If you're thinking about not voting, or you're very stuck on if you want to like sit out the vote, especially in this midterm year, let's converse, let's figure it out. If there's something you want to add, please feel free to give the number a call. I do have it set up so you can also ask the panel questions. The panel can answer those to you. People down there in the comments, thank you, I love you, maybe, possibly. Don't forget to send love to the panel. And then also I have my links in bio. I love this so much because it goes deeper than just like, let's submit a vote and whoever gets the most votes wins. It's one of those things that I really... You, Sparky, you got to work for it. So I love talking about this entire thing, and there are so many things that it's hard not to put the tinfoil hat on, because it's just like, this person has actually been behind the scenes for this long. They just became more relevant, like, or someone that people actually knew in the past like 5 to 10 years. However, like, you see their name like on things way back when. It's...
Yep.
So.
And when you look at like, so when you look at the like lobbying in, we'll use Brussels for an example, they actually have a whole lot of lobbyists. They have between 25,000 and 48,000 active lobbyists, but they have an annual estimated annual cap around £2 billion or euros. So since like I mentioned before, since they don't have the financial leverage that lobbyists in the United States have towards our government or towards our politicians, they do a soft-spoken, technical form of lobbying. It's like I said, it's more about providing information than it is them trying to give them money or get money. And another thing that I wanted to point out was the public funding. Public funding in other countries looks extremely different from the United States. In the United States, it's virtually dead. There's barely any public funding that can go to like towards, say, a presidential candidate. Barely any of their money comes from just straight up public funding. In France, candidates who receive greater than 5% of the vote get up to 47.5% of their campaign costs reimbursed by the state. That's when they get money back for actually getting, like, being popular. And that incentivizes them to raise money from people, while at the same time corporate money is banned, union money is banned. They can't get money from super PACs and things of that nature. In Canada, there are tax credits for small political donations that encourage grassroots funding. And they also get some of their election expenses reimbursed. So other countries are pushing for smaller donations to come in from the actual people who want to see their candidate prosper. Whereas in the United States, the like individual donations are stifled and like suppressed by all the super PACs.
So now I'm very curious though. The tobacco company had such a stronghold on the government for the longest. And I know that because the funniest thing about that is or industry, I shouldn't say company, the industry. So the funniest thing about that is I love Boston Legal. Is it Boston? Yeah, Boston Legal, right? And love Boston Legal, and so that's one of the cases that they continue to like get. And mind you, I'm pretty sure Boston Legal ended in early 2000s, and but it's something that they had been fighting, even like they have been fighting for fucking years, and I mean this in real life. And then randomly, it just became, the flavored inhalers. Good night, Dad. Come back with the oat milk next time, please. Extra creamy, unsweetened. It's good for baking. So that's one of the things that is just like, that's very fascinating. How, like, I wonder what the shift turned into. Like, it's probably the same people. It could be the same people. Or, like, I wonder what organization took that shift. That's something to
We're
look into.
kind of seeing it with the alcohol lobby right now. So essentially, like, there's only so long that you can sit there and lobby something when the public opinion about that thing is so negative. Like, as years have progressed and everything else like that, like, just naturally people kind of start figuring out that, like, hey, like, maybe these things that we heard back in the 70s about like smoking a cigarette after you like drink a bottle of wine is like healthy for you, maybe that's not necessarily true. And because of medical advancements and everything else like that, like, people naturally just started, stopping smoking. And it also led to like the increase of prices, sin tax going up, and everything else like that. So naturally, the progression of it was like, okay, this product does not work anymore. We need to figure out a new product in order for it to, like, go forward. When you look at the alcohol lobby
Just a
and
second,
everything else,
Davo. Hey, Chipotle.
okay.
So we're just having like some just back and forth about like something that discourages people from wanting to vote or get involved in politics. So you're more than welcome to give the number a call or text any questions you might have on the current topic is we're talking about money in politics. But the live is here for non-voters, unheard, disconnected, disillusioned, and political nomads. So knowing that, like, I just want to have more of we see the mutual problem, or not the mutual problems. I'm looking for a word. We see the common denominator problems. And that's what we're just talking about. And it just so happens to be money in politics today.
Ye-
Yee.
But, but yeah, alcohol lobby essentially
Do you think
kind
that's
of
why
is,
half our administration is fucking sloshed?
yes,
Okay.
like 100%. What's that? Oh,
I
I thought you
said,
said something.
oh, I said, okay.
Oh. But yeah, so you got to think about it, is like all these people are most likely getting like under the table deals from like these alcohol companies. Like, we're seeing it in Texas real heavy right now with the green stuff, for example. Um, when it comes to Dan Patrick, like, the biggest contributor to his campaign fund was Anheuser-Busch. Like, me and Cass both, she whirls in, that's hilarious. But me and Cass both realized, Dan Patrick, one of his biggest contributors was in fact Anheuser-Busch. So they're noticing like alcohol sales across the nation are dropping, and it's because like all of these, you know, the generation coming in, the new 21-year-olds aren't going out and drinking anymore. They're going out and they're doing other things. And they can't recoup that type of funding, so they have to either attack the industries that they don't like or they have to pivot. And we saw that with things like, you know, with like IPAs, for example, or something along the lines of like Fireball. Fireball is a malt liquor. It's not actually a liquor. So they do all these like sneaky tricks and everything else like that to kind of get past all the legals and their donatings and everything else like that. So that way, again, they get what they want at the end of the day.
I mean, have you seen how expensive like NA beverages are? Like
Hmm.
they're basically the same, if not more, to not have alcohol in them.
It's that's more of a recovery thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as somebody in recovery, I know there for a while, like something that really helped me was the NAs
Oh no,
because
I'm
I,
not knocking it. I'm just saying the price of it. Like you would think
oh yeah,
because there's
it's
not alcohol in it that they would be cheaper. Because I went 4 years no alcohol, and then I also worked in recovery. So I love NA products, especially because I've had 3 kids. Therefore, I spend a lot of time pregnant. So I love NA products because I feel like that's a great thing so people can still feel like they can be sociable and like they don't have to feel left out where it's just water or a Coke. But yeah, I wasn't knocking it. I was just like, I just realized like it's either the
oh
same price or more expensive, which typically it would be the opposite if you were going to a bar if you were to get like Coke and no rum.
well, why does an alcohol company want you to go to the non-alcoholic product? You know?
True.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you are cheaper in the long run because of the sin tax and everything, but still at the same time, yeah, you're right. It is roughly about the same price. I mean, when you boil it all down. But yeah, ultimately they want you to keep drinking. Like I've been to quite a few Anheuser-Busch events whenever I was DJing, and I can tell you they hand out free things. So they want you drinking.
Yeah, true. Um, but that's also, I mean, that's still, yeah. So, how do you think, like, we could bring back traditional lobbying? Like, you got to put on a fucking suit and tie and like, some boat shoes
I
with no
mean,
socks.
it starts with the legislative. I mean, that's ultimately where it starts. I mean, we can sit here and say we would want to vote for candidates who don't take certain type of PAC money and everything else like that, but ultimately, like Taylor Reinhardt and Fort Worth district, I believe it was 9. That was a beautiful thing where somebody who doesn't typically take a lot of money won the election, but it's also not a commonality. Typically, you need money in order to run. And the thing about it too is, you know, we always talk about Kamala, for example, and how she only had 100 days, but she had $2 billion, and with that 2 billion, you know, she was able to do a lot, like a lot of a lot. I could be wrong on the 2 billion. I think it was something close to that, but I mean, she did really well with the money that she had. It's just she couldn't go everywhere. She couldn't go to like, you know, certain spots in Texas where,
Mm.
you know, Obama was a really good example as to like what you want to do whenever it comes to campaigning, and that is like you go literally everywhere. Beto did this, and this is also why Trump won. Like they went everywhere, they talked to everyone, they shook everyone's hand, they kissed all the babies, and that costs money. So you're talking about two different.
Shaking
um
babies, kissing hands.
I love saying that, but people get on to me for saying that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
But But yeah, ultimately it starts the legislative, and then you're also combating the people who are getting paid by said legislative. So it's just like it's an uphill battle, and it sucks.
W. Mothra, thank you so much. Um,
The
I haven't
the
heard.
biggest
Okay, go ahead.
okay. The biggest hurdle, even before we get to the legislative, the biggest hurdle would be the constitutional blockade. We would have to we would have to have the Supreme Court reverse Citizens United, as and potentially also was it uh, Supreme Court versus Vallejo, the 1976 one, we
Is
or
that when
Buckley
like
versus Vallejo.
corporations or businesses or people or entities or?
That's Citizens United.
Oh, okay.
Buckley v. Vallejo is the one that said that political spending is political speech. But Citizens United basically granted corporations personhood, so that their donation counted as much as other people's donations. Which, like I said before, Canada directly opposed that with their ruling in 2003, I think I said, where they said that basically they said the rich shouldn't be able to drown out everybody else's voices with their expression.
This shit is layered. I love this so much. I hate it so much, but like my ADHD is loving this. Okay, so
Yeah, the Supreme Court ruling is I think is the biggest hurdle, and then below that would be the legislative. Then below that would just be the revolving door of lobbying, because I think 48% of new lobbyists in 2023 were people from the public sector, people who like worked in the government.
yeah, Z Spark. So you say they should pay income tax like people like a person does, but at the same time, we don't tax the rich on a large scale. So like it would still benefit them. Like
Right.
a big thing that I like to I know what you I know sorry neurospicy. Um yep. The brain is moving. The mouth is not. Cuck, did you want to say anything or add anything? Okay.
I was just gonna send you a video that there's a crash course on money and politics. Hold on just a second. It's like a 6 minute. You can play it.
Did you send it on Discord or TikTok?
Discord. Hold on, there's a couple.
Oh my god.
That's one though on interest. On interest.
Bro,
rates. Hold on.
you're pissing me off.
I'm a boomer with the teacup and so there's one on interest groups. Hold on, listen. I'll be right back.
Okay, anyway. Um he just kept going, get it out. Um, uh, because we enable him. Manny, did you want to add anything?
Okay, I'm prepared now. So I sent you one on the formation of interest groups and then interest groups in politics.
Why
So those are
couldn't you
pretty.
send this to me before the live?
You know, I didn't think about it. You didn't fill me in on the plan like you did Blue.
I literally said we are going to do money. We'll discuss this later.
You said Blue did all the work.
No, I said Blue did a lot of work.
Oh, I thought you said all the work. I was like, we're all getting A's for the group project. But
no, like because we were talking about it, and he ended up like putting something together. I swear, I do have brains.
I was going to be putting something together.
Yeah.
You text me the topic in the morning, I will be on it.
Okay, thank you, Olive, for the Blue app. I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll figure it out. Or I'll figure it out. Manny, I'm sorry. Did I ask you if you had anything else? You did it.
I mean, as far as like the whole like how do we get back to I don't know. I think that there's a reason why we've moved this far. Not saying that I agree with lobbying at all. I think that with the times though, I don't know if we can move back to a time period where people had to go up to Capitol Hill and like, you know, do that. But where we are currently, how do we get to a better place? Yeah, I agree with Blue. I think it first starts with overturning, and whether that be through, you know, the expansion of the Supreme Court, or just simply being able to capture the Supreme Court, or if it's through legislation. I don't know, but
I honestly, I think that if it were presented before this current Supreme Court, because there's so many contextualists, I'm not convinced that they would
Oppose it?
uphold Citizens United. I think that this current Supreme Court would potentially it might be a close vote, just like the original was. I think it was 5-4.
Who affirmed it last
There's
time?
a chance that they would overturn Citizens United.
I don't know. If you look at all of the Supreme Court merit cases that this current makeup has been ruling on, you may get that sense. But if you look at the topics in which they're ruling in favor of what we consider to be on the side of, if you want to say liberal or Democrat or whatever, it hasn't been because they're ruling on the side of Democrats and liberals. It's because they've been ruling on the side of the Constitution. Right. So for like the 14th Amendment, I don't believe that they ruled on the 14th Amendment's merits because it's like, oh man, this is horrible. This is just going to be so detrimental to people. The 14th Amendment, you guys are just no. It was literally Kavanaugh and Scalia, like. They have skin in the game that I think Republicans didn't really take into consideration.
But that's exactly what that's what I'm saying is that I don't think that they would be. I feel like this current Supreme Court is, with the exception of maybe like Thomas,
100% with the exception of Thomas.
Right,
Thomas follows the money.
They are some of the like most staunch contextualists that we've seen in a while in the Supreme Court, and I feel I think that because of that there is the potential for them to overturn it. I'm not saying that it's a guarantee, But
No, I don't think you're saying that. I think that what I'm hearing, the reason why I'm kind of like, I don't know about that is because we'll put something else in perspective. Because this is about, I know this is about like money within politics and not necessarily the economy as a whole, but it touches somewhere within the economy. Uh, the tariffs. The tariffs were ruled on, illegal or unconstitutional, whatever term you want to use, right? They were ruled against. But the opinion of the justices, specifically the Republican ones, the conservative justices, wasn't that they were unconstitutional or illegal and that this man needs to be stopped and there's no way. It was, if he only went about it doing it in this way, then we would have let him do it all. I don't know if they truly feel that way about the way that they've. I guess what I'm trying to, a roundabout way of saying is, I could see them taking up a Supreme Court case over the ruling and the reading of Citizens United, but only to reinterpret it, and it may not do that. It may not do any good. I don't see them overturning it. I just see them maybe possibly reinterpreting it and maybe putting in just a little restraint, or it may not do anything at all. But I don't see a world currently where this current makeup would just remove it. I don't know. I think it's going to take a little bit more of a. I like the legislative route, but I think that's me dipping into moderacy. I don't know.
Damn. No, I mean, yeah, Blue, you do hold a very good point in like comparing the types of or the characteristics of the current Supreme Court. And trying to use the contextualists to our advantage, especially because they're lifers. So what else? What else that has been ruled on or overturned or more so ruled on, would work with contextualists? Can anybody think of anything? Anybody in the comments?
We should repeal the Third Amendment because, we should just give our quarters to soldiers or whatever that's supposed to be.
I'm already breaking the Third Amendment because I live here. So.
Wait, are you military?
I was.
Oh, okay.
No,
There you go. We're already on our way.
we always like the funniest part of like the whole ICE thing was the fact that we realized how grateful we were for the Third Amendment after going years and being like, what the fuck is that an amendment for? And then we walk in to this administration and they're just like, look, you can't use our bathroom. You can't stay here. And I was like, yo, the Third Amendment is coming in clutch.
That is kind of funny because I also was like, when? That must have been a problem back then.
Right?
It's like, what is this ruling?
Oh, it was real bad. If you look at the historical context, it's like, jokes aside, it's real bad.
I have, but then like we sit there, but like it's like looking at a curling iron and then looking at the things on the curling iron, like the warnings and it's like for external use only. So it's just like You know it happened.
Listen.
It's just what the fuck.
Well, at some point we had to learn about flared bases, and that's in the process of figuring it out. So there you go.
Wait, didn't I let Cuck back up here? Where did he go?
I guess he
Oh
dropped him off.
gosh. Ask and you shall receive.
I'm back. I had kids.
You had
You
kids?
had
Congratulations.
That was quick.
He died in Minecraft, so he was losing it.
Oh,
But it's not real life, so.
No, they are down.
Do we
here.
have
It's
8 minutes?
crazy. 8 minutes?
Yeah, for a video. If you want to see it or not.
Not really.
Okay, fuck it.
My views plummeted. It's fine. But this was a great thing. Tomorrow's topic will be fuck DJT. I'm kidding.
That's the topic of the century.
Apparently
That's
that's
not
the
very
only one people
unified.
want to like show. Like that's the only thing one that people want to show up for. But let's see. I'll let y'all know what tomorrow's topic's going to be. But this was great. Blue, you did it fantastic, wonderful. Thank you so much for carrying the group.
Yes, well, thanks for carrying me. I don't know what I was a part of, but
No, you provided a lot of insight about webs and shit. Thank you so much, Tubes. Appreciate it. I know the camera's right here. However, I see the screen and how could I not? Bye-bye.